Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'll be reacting to the mid-season 2021 NBA mock draft. This is important because I have to face it, my Hornets are, I think, at a lottery pick this year, and I think they'll end up with a lottery pick at the end of the year. Maybe we can make the playoffs, but it doesn't look that way. But yeah, if you're part of the 93% of people that aren't subscribed, man, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and let's get right into it.
In the recent NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves landed the top pick in the draft and decided to take Anthony Edwards. Right now, they have the
Let me make sure we got the best quality right now.
worst record in the league, giving them the best odds at the top pick again. Now, due to the newer odds,
yeah,
Minnesota's
down bad, man.
We're going to be going based on the league standings, and we'll send the lottery at a later date. If the Timberwolves actually land here, there's no question who they would take. Despite
I like Cade Cunningham, man.
And that's Oklahoma State point guard Cade Cunningham. Cunningham went into the season projected to be the top pick, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple outlets have him falling 1 or 2 spots, and that's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's a point guard standing at 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan.
I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of.
Has people excited, but as a freshman, his skill set has been on full display.
I'm not sure.
He's averaging 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Yeah, he's been really good this season, man. He deserves a number one overall pick.
There's been some concerns. Currently, he has a negative assisted turnover ratio, which you barely see at the point guard position.
Oh, we got an ad.
That's not going to stop the hype for him going into the draft.
All right, we're back.
There were some question marks around his shooting, but he's gone out there and shot 45% on almost 5 attempts, 18
from 3
into this season. That's really raised his ceiling. Yes,
Damn.
this team has D'Angelo Russell in a contract.
Who does he remind me? A 6'8" point guard.
Like Cunningham, you select them,
Luka?
and then you figure out the rest later. Plus, with the frame he has,
a smaller Ben
really
Simmons that can actually shoot.
Who's going to come off the board after him?
Something like that.
The Pistons sit at 2. Now, this pick is interesting. I think it's between 3 to 5 players. I see Jalen Suggs mocked here a lot, but despite Killian Hayes' struggles in his first season, I have them holding on to hope and selecting USC center Evan Mobley. As every year goes by, I'm becoming less and less supportive of big men going with.
They have like 10 centers on the team. I don't know why they would need another
Mobley
one.
Might be the
but
exception for me. He's 7 foot with a 7'5" wingspan. In his freshman season, he's averaging 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks, shooting 60%
it's a good stat line.
The stats alone wouldn't convince, but he passes the eye test. The coordination at that size, you just don't see very often. Now, he's only shooting 33% from 3 on low volume, but I think floor spacing is going to be a huge part of his game going forward. You pair that with
he looks like a more coordinated bull.
They're in a weird spot.
Just what I'm getting.
Might be a best player available selection, but right now, I've got them going with Mobley here. At 3, we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cavaliers are number 3?
It looked like they were really starting to click, but it looks like they're again going to go into the lottery with some of the best odds at the top pick. Here at 3, based on their current roster, I think their selection is pretty clear, and that's going to be 6'8" forward Jonathan Kuminga. Cavs point guard Colin Sexton is really breaking out, and their top pick from last season.
Yeah, Kuminga's pretty good, man.
A ton of improvement in his second season. So despite their recent selection of Isaac Okoro, I'm going to have them go with Kuminga. If you're going to have too much of one position, you want it to be your wings, as they typically are some of the most versatile players.
I mean, look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They play the same position, but they make it work.
Players in the class. He isn't even halfway.
And I'm not comparing Isaac Okoro and this guy to them, but I mean, anything's possible, man.
The Cavaliers have really struggled in the post-LeBron era, but things are slowly starting to turn around, and I think Kuminga would really speed things up for them. 4 is going to be the Washington Wizards, who are getting one, if not the biggest riser of the season.
Yeah, where's Jalen Suggs? Yeah, Jesus, I don't think he's fallen to 4, man. He's been way too good.
He's averaging 14 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds.
I mean, 14 points doesn't do it justice, man. He's playing in the best.
His playmaking.
He's playing against the best competition, you know.
Has caused scouts to get really excited about his arrival. The Wizards obviously have Russell Westbrook right now, but I don't think any current player is or should affect their selection.
Yeah, that's true. I was just going to say it's the best player available for them.
Now, I think the selection would be close between him and the next guy that's going to come off the board. But for right now, the Wizards are going to go into
Where's Jalen Green, man?
With Denny,
I thought he's been decent in the G League.
At 5, we've got the Orlando Magic, who are taking the last of the Tier 1 prospects, Jalen Green.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. To Orlando Magic, I like that fit, man.
And hasn't disappointed at this point, playing in the G League, averaging.
He has room to, you know, like just develop for a couple years.
Scoring ability, give him one of the highest ceilings in this draft. Something Orlando needs. With both Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Isaac returning by the time Green would make his debut, I think this team would actually be fun to watch.
If the video's
which I haven't said
laggy,
about an
it
Orlando
is not me,
roster in a
man.
very long time. 6 and 7 are actually in the
I was
team.
just gonna say the Thunder are like the team you think of who's rebuilding. So that's kind of funny.
Is going to be coming from the Houston Rockets.
Oh, it's from the Rockets?
Trade. This is an interesting team to mock, as there's so many directions they could go. They obviously
Best
have their
player
future point
available
guard in
probably
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
for me.
But aside from that, there's nothing stopping them from really going with any player at any position. With the first of their 2 picks, I've got 6'9" forward out of Florida State, Scotty Barnes. Now, Barnes isn't a flashy selection. He's got a ways to go as both a shooter and scorer, but with what he expects.
I like Scotty Barnes. I think he can be a fine player.
With the help of a 7'2" wingspan and him being a very good playmaker for his position, he's going to bring this team both a ton of value immediately and upside going forward. With their second selection, they're going for scoring, getting 6'5" shooting guard James Bouknight out of UConn. This is another guy that's flown up the board. As a freshman, he averaged 13 points a game, shooting 46% from the field
he's given
and 35%
me
from 3. This season, he's averaging
who's that one player, man?
Now, Bouknight isn't super well-rounded, but man, can he score with the ball?
He's giving me like Cole Anthony vibes, kind of, like a little taller.
Make contact and catch fire in an instant, which we saw early on in the season.
Maybe Lou Will,
just
a little bit of Lou Will.
Which really raised his stock overnight.
I've never heard of him, though.
He is shooting just 31% from 3, but he's only
I hate when they show high school highlights, man, because it's just...
Personally, as a Thunder fan,
it does not translate at all.
These two, on top of all the draft picks they have
like, I'd take college highlights.
Would really be going in the right direction.
I'll take
At 8,
League.
we've got the Houston Rockets via the Miami Heat. The Heat have really struggled to this point, but this is a team that was just in the NBA Finals, so it's hard to say whether we can really expect the Rockets to be selecting this high in the draft.
Oh, from Wisconsin, right? Jalen Johnson.
With former Duke forward Jalen Johnson.
Yeah,
now,
man.
This is an interesting...
I saw a lot of comments about Jalen Johnson being soft.
He just decided to leave Duke in the middle of his freshman season, where he was averaging 11 points and 6 rebounds.
I feel like that lowers his like draft stock, man.
100% healthy for
like,
the NBA draft. But many are speculating
just quitting on your team halfway through,
of not starting in his last 3 appearances. It's tough to say.
It doesn't look good.
Affect his draft stock. But right now, the Rockets are taking him at 8. 9 is going to be the Pelicans, who I have taking 6'6" shooting guard Moses Moody. Every year, I've got a favorite prospect projected to go in the later part of the lottery. In 2018, it was Mikal Bridges. In 2019, it was Cam Reddish. And most recently, Tyrese Halliburton. I don't hit every time, but I'm batting pretty solid. I'm just a huge believer on not overthinking.
That sounds like a good list.
I'm going to go with Moses Moody. 6'6", 7-foot wingspan, averaging 16 points, shooting 37%.
Bradley Beal coached him. Damn.
The skill set we saw at Montverde, he is brought.
There's been 3 players now from Montverde.
Player, but to discredit his upside,
it's kind of crazy.
Absolutely foolish. The Pelicans
imagine playing
really
all 3 of them in high school.
But man, I would love them having Moody going forward alongside Zion and Brandon Ingram. I really think
they just need shooting. So if this guy can shoot, then sure.
The Hawks are here at 10. This team doesn't have an obvious hole to address, so when in doubt, draft a wing. They're going with Zaire Williams.
I like Zaire Williams from Stanford,
despite his efficiency as a freshman at Stanford. This is not one of my.
I'm surprised the Hornets aren't here, man. I guess
I would really
our standings aren't
would actually use this selection in a trade to really get this team closer to contending. The Kings are here at 11. I'm interested to see what they do with this backcourt. They've got Hield, Fox, and Halliburton, but I'm just going to have them getting an absolutely lights-out shooting for
who the hell is that?
Corey Kispert. In today's game, you've really got to be doing something special if you're going to get drafted in the lottery as an upperclassman. But that's exactly
who the hell is this?
He just might be the most efficient player in the country right now. He's averaging 19 points.
Is he a shooter?
56%
because he's white, but
and 47% from 3
who is this
in 21 games. It's actually insane. At 12 is the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are always annoying to mock because they've got a solid young player at every position.
Yeah.
That being Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams.
But they're none like too solid to
no
not draft.
I already know there's going to be some Bulls fans in the comments crying about the fact that they don't need a player at that position. I'm going to have them going with 6'4" combo guard out of Tennessee, Jaden Springer, who's averaging 12 points and 3 assists on great efficiency as a freshman.
I remember this guy.
It feels weird to be talking about them this far down in the lottery, but I have them going with another Tennessee product in 6'5" freak athlete shooting guard Keon Johnson. I really like the fit of some of the higher up prospects for the Knicks, but as of right now, this is what they are dealing with. For the last pick in the lottery, we've got the Memphis.
I guess the Hornets don't pick in the lottery, damn.
Wagner out of Michigan, brother of former first-round pick Moritz Wagner. man, is he an interesting player. He's a 6'9" shooting guard.
Bust.
You don't see that very often.
I'm just saying,
He's
man.
still very raw, but
There's
man, is
no
the
way
upside
this
there.
guy isn't
He's averaging
like
13
in the
points,
league.
9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Shooting
Like 3 years
51%
into
from the
his
field
career.
And 37% from 3.
He's gonna
in his
be in the G
sophomore
League and then
season.
play overseas. Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. I guess the Hornets don't pick in the lottery as of the standings right now. But yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.